Oh, what up, turkeys? It's me. It's your frog. Or for our French-Canadian viewers, c'est moi, Monsieur Bronwy. I hope all you guys are keeping your spirits up and your minds occupied. We're hunkered down in the bunker here, confident that frog scientists are hard at work developing a cure for the coronavirus. Yeah, okay, so we might be here for a while. If any of you are thinking about putting together your own cornpocalypse stash, perhaps take a hard-earned lesson from Uncle Frog and the Frog family. And don't only stock your bunkers with canned beans. At this point, I don't know whether to be more fearful of the virus or of open flame. A Jocko, my kingdom for a Jocko. Anyway. To help pass the time, I've been digging through the movies in this joint. All of them on glorious VHS cassette. And often taped off of 1980s cable television. Okay, so the quality often isn't the best. But, one makes do. So I've scoured through all these, with the exception of that one box that put Mama Frog into quite the state. Not sure what that was about. Anyway, here are what I consider to be the top 5 gems of Uncle Frog's movie collection. Starting off strong, it turns out there was an old Star Wars movie I didn't even know existed. It's called Star Wars 2001: A Space Onomatopoeia, and it's great. It has everything you'd want in a sweeping space opera. Wookiee Civil War, Max Rockslide from Pokemon Sword and Shield, waltzes, space transit, ham sandwiches on the moon, trouble with Siri.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I don't see Frank Poole in your contacts. Who do you want to send it to?
But it's the end of this movie that is truly mind-blowing. You guys ready? It's a Doctor Strange crossover that ends with Baby Galactus attacking Earth. So sweet. Next up, them! Exclamation point. And if it's got an exclamation point, it's got to be good. I think there's a law or something about that. But you know what else is good? A movie with giant ants with guns and flamethrowers. I mean, the people have guns and flamethrowers, not the ants. Though I would totally watch that. So, you're listening to Hollywood? Yeah, maybe keep that in mind for a sequel. Okay, so what's all this about? Imagine James Cameron's Aliens if it were made in 1954 and with ants. I watched this movie several times now. It's a good one for kids because it's just scary enough without being too scary. But it also makes me hungry for sugar. And, I miss sugar. Number 3 is Excalibur. No exclamation point. John Borman's Arthurian epic from 1981. And let me tell you guys, it's very 1981. Let's just say they certainly got their money's worth out of the fog machine. And just to clarify, that's fog machine, not frog machine. And while there were a few scenes early on where Mama Frog had to cover my eyes, this is probably the coolest pre-Lord of the Rings sword and sorcery flick I've seen. It has knights and horses and mermaids that give you cool swords. One of the swords had a name. I forget what it was. But speaking of names, there are a bunch of famous ones in this, including Qui-Gon Jinn, Captain Picard, Nicolas Cage's mom from National Treasure 2, not Kaiser Souza, and Richard from Keeping Up Appearances. The actor who really steals the show in this, though, is Nicol Williamson as Merlin. He's a little creepy, a little bit weird, almost unworldly at times. Not unlike a certain uncle I know. So on the downside, this movie gets pretty dang violent, pretty gory. I'm talking like suits of armor stuffed with hamburger meat gory. At one point, my little brother walked in, and there's so much blood on the screen that we had to tell him that they were having a Huckleberry Pie fight. Still, pretty cool movie. After that bloodbath, we were all in need of a little palate cleanser. Yeah, unfortunately, those are few and far between in the Uncle Frog movie catalog. Yeah, what can I say? Yeah, he's an intense dude. The best I could find was a flick from 1985 called Moving Violations. If you've never heard of it, there's a good chance you haven't. It's a movie about traffic school, starring Bill Murray's brother doing his best Bill Murray impression.
You guys are nutty.
Pitted against Stacy Keach's brother doing his best Martin Mull or possibly Jeffrey Jones impression. It was written and directed by Neil Israel, who was one of the writers on the first Police Academy movie. That pretty much tells you all you need to know. And it's fine, I guess. A lot of 80s comedies, in my opinion, don't age especially well. This wasn't exactly A material to start with. The jokes are occasionally okay.
Come sit on Grandpa's lap.
Yeah, I'd say the gags land maybe 1 out of 4 times. Could have been worse. It's like hanging around to watch the middle school junior varsity basketball game. You know it's not going to be great. You just hope that it's not outright embarrassing. And this movie, sometimes a bit gets so bad that it somehow crosses over into being actually funny. Laugh is a laugh, so I guess that counts. The real tragedy is that the admittedly catchy theme song doesn't appear until halfway through the movie. Who decided that? It's probably Neil Israel, but yeah, okay, whatever. It's okay. I probably won't watch it again. Oh, but it had a guest appearance by the lady who used to say, "Where's the beef?" on TV commercials. So that was fun. Speaking of fun, I have an honorable mention on my list. It was the only movie in this place that somebody actually purchased at some point. And let me tell you, when I saw this thing, the box art was awesome. The description on the back, everything about it just screamed rad. Literally, because the movie's called Rad. Check out this tagline. A hometown kid on his BMX pitted against the best in the world. At Hell Track, the heat is on. Look at that picture. It's like the Predator's about to laser that kid right off his bike. I was so ready for this to be the best movie ever. And it does start out promisingly, with the kid on his paper route doing sick bike tricks. But then they shift their gears. Shifted bike gears. Into 2 hours of some Cajun guy telling jokes and cooking rice. It turns out Uncle Frog taped over Rad with episodes of Justin Wilson's Louisiana Cooking, which I watched for a surprisingly long time. I thought maybe they were working the slow reveal or something. Maybe if I waited long enough, this old suspenders dude is gonna launch off and start totally shredding. Because that, my friends, would truly have been rad. Yeah, okay, enough of that. The final entry on my list is Throne of Blood, and I'll admit I only started watching this because I thought it might be a comedy about dysentery, which, let me assure you, it is not. Instead, it is the great Akira Kurosawa's retelling of Shakespeare's Macbeth set in feudal Japan, starring Toshiro Mifune as a warrior general who says "ruh" a lot. And Suzu Yamada as his wife, whose eyebrows are in a perpetual state of surprise. Much like Uncle Frog's relationships, this is a story of ambition destined to end in tragedy. My favorite parts of the movie are the creepy dude in the woods playing Mousetrap, who has discovered the secret to getting his clothes whiter than white. And, well, this. Which is also how a surprising number of Uncle Frog's relationships conclude. Speaking of which, it looks like that gang of Uncle Frog's exes is trying to get into the bunker again. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode, guys. This is Mr. Frog signing off, reminding you to stay in, stay safe, keep your doomsday bunker a secret, and also watch some cool movies. Okay, Mr. Frog out!